Are you thinking about moving to Comfort, Texas, and you're just not sure about the area? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to tell you some of the pros and cons about living in Comfort, Texas. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Serving San Antonio. I'm Christine Johnson with Fathom Realty, and today I want to tell you about the pros and cons of living in Comfort, Texas. Pro number one, it's views. It's nature, it's outdoors. If you're a nature enthusiast or you just love the outdoors, Comfort is the area to come. I've actually shown a lot of houses out there that are located in some stunning areas with just some beautiful views and the Guadalupe River. Pro number two, the small town feel. Now, when I say small town, Comfort is a very, very small town, at least in my opinion. I know there's going to be many people that say differently about other smaller towns, but I know for someone like me, Comfort is a very small town. So if you like the family-friendly, close-knit neighbors, small community, then Comfort is the place to be. Pro number three, it's historic character. Now, I know you're probably thinking that's not going to make me move to Comfort, but if anything, you've got to come visit and walk around and read what each building downtown used to be. My husband's big into history and he took me down there and I was like, I don't want to read these buildings. But then the more that I read, I learned, wow, that was a grocery store. Who'd have thought, oh, that was a bank. So it's got this really cool 19th century downtown historic part. And I'm sure there's lots more to it, but I personally just explored the downtown part and thought it was pretty cool. Next pro, it's outdoor recreation. If you like to fish, if you like to hike, if you like to camp, then there are plenty of opportunities to do this here in Comfort. So if you're an outdoorsy person or as a family, then Comfort is one of the places that you need to come to do those types of things. Pro number five, it's family-friendly environment. So if you're looking for a place to raise them, to build like a strong family bonds, then Comfort is the place to look at. Okay, so now that I've told you some of the pros, which I will say are not necessarily reasons that you should move to Comfort, minus the family and the small town feel, I will say those aren't necessarily reasons you should move here. There are lots of reasons that you should visit it. However, moving on to the cons, maybe you'll see a little bit more why. So con number one is there's very limited amenities. Now, if you're looking for a place to buy a lot of things that you usually get name brand and stuff, you're not going to find that in Comfort. If healthcare is a big concern for you, then Comfort, again, is not going to be your place because there's no big hospitals in Comfort. If you like entertaining, like let's say you like going to the movies, you're not going to find that there either. You're going to have to travel elsewhere out of town. So just something to consider when you're bringing a family into Comfort, that you'll have to travel to go to those types of places. Limited job opportunities. Because of it being a small town, there's probably not as many jobs, which will mean longer commutes to get to either San Antonio or some of the other surrounding areas to get to your job. So that's something to keep in mind, that you might be commuting a little bit further if you choose to live there. So the next con I'm going to talk about is the weather. When you're in the hill country and the more hilly areas that you're in, the more wind you get, the thunderstorms can be a little bit worse. There's more hail. Again, I am no meteorologist. I can't tell you any of this. But living in the hill country myself, I can attest to the fact that our thunderstorms are a lot different than the ones down in San Antonio. So being in the hill country, it is a bit different. Beware of the wind and the flash floods because those are a big one. And being in hill country, again, you need to be prepared for it. Comfort is a bit isolated. So it is a small little town. There are very few roads getting in and out of the town. So it is out on its own. Again, so if you are somebody that likes to go and be entertained and have things to do all the time and you're not really a homebody, Comfort might not be the place for you to go. But if you do like going to, let's say, the same local place a couple times a week, then maybe it is and you're still close to home. So isolation, it's a little bit further out there and away from other things, just something to keep in mind. And the tourism. During the peak seasons, the tourists can come out, which will cause a lot of congestion. So for example, the other day I ran into a tour bus and they had told me that they had all just come from downtown Comfort and they were touring there and then the bus took them to Bernie. So those types of people coming in and out of town, lots of congestion, people traveling through, those are just some things, but might not really be a deal breaker for you, but I just want to mention them. So now there are some other attractions about it that I will mention in another video, but I wanted to give you those broad pros and cons for now so that you have something to kind of think about. So if I'm wrong, if things have changed, again, I'm not in Comfort every single day. So if you live there, go ahead, give it to me. I'm used to it. Tell me what I said wrong. I understand. I hope this at least helped you a little bit about considering whether or not Comfort is the right place for you. And if there's any questions, if you have any concerns, feel free, call, text, or email me. You can always find a way to get a hold of me. Thank you for watching another episode of Serving San Antonio. I'm Christine Johnson with Fathom Realty. I'll see you next time.